Habits. Why we do what we do. It's a settled or regular tendency or practice, something that we do on a daily basis without even realizing it. What is a habit? A habit is a routine of behavior that is repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Habitual behavior goes unnoticed in persons exhibiting it because a person does not need to engage in self analysis when undertaking routine tasks. Habits are sometimes compulsory. Habits are a big deal within companies. Charles Duhigg, author of the famous book called The Power of Habit, talks about habits being a big deal not only in our lives, because about 40 to 50% of what we do every day sort of feels like a decision, but it's actually habit. Components of a habit, there are three components. There's the cue, which is like a trigger for the behavior to start unfolding, a routine, which is the habit itself, the behavior, the automatic sort of doing what you do when you do a habit. At the end, there's a reward. The reward is how our neurology learns to encode the pattern for the future. The neuroscience of habit. Most behavior originates in the prefrontal cortex. As behavior becomes a habit, it becomes automatic and moves to the basal ganglia. That's why a habit feels automatic. It's happening in this part of the brain that is completely exempt from the process. How do you break a habit? First, you have to diagnose the cue and reward. The cue falls in five categories: time of day, certain place, presence of certain people, particularly emotion or set of behaviors. The reward, the most important part, is the craving that created the habit in the first place. So, who was Claude C. Hopkins? Was he one of the founders of the habit? Well, about 100 years ago, he was the most famous ad man in America. His friend found the new toothpaste, Pepsodent, and he wanted to help him sell it. He realized that people were starting to associate the tingling with cleanliness, which became the reward in itself. And so they craved brushing. The basal ganglia of an organization. What is it about the routines within an organization? Well, it's a parallel to the way habits work in individuals that are like down in the basal ganglia of the organization where people don't really notice them. The entire organization moves in the same direction as the habits of the people. Identifying the habit. Well-run organizations, effective managers are the ones that understand that habits are out there, and that's how you change something, by tweaking the habits. Great CEOs talk about habits, whereas the bad CEOs, on the other hand, pretend like organizational habits don't exist. Breaking habits. It's never too late to break a habit. Habits are malleable throughout our entire lives, and we know that. We try to do it with our kids, family, friends. The best way to change it is to understand the cue and reward, be forced to recognize what those factors are in a behavior. On spirituality and habits. At some point, when you're changing a deep seated behavior, you're going to have a moment of weakness. For example, at a moment of weakness, if you can look across the room and think, Jim's kind of a moron, I think I'm smarter than him. If Jim can do it, I can definitely do it too. Now that's enormously powerful. Emotional intelligence. There's an enormous amount of research suggesting that emotional intelligence EQ is linked to your performance at work. 58% of success is determined by it. People with high EQ make about $29,000 more than people with low EQ. Experts say human emotional intelligence is a powerful way to focus your energy in one direction with tremendous results. But there's a catch. People don't like to take at face value. They want to know what's genuine, that your emotions are genuine. Habits of happy and healthy and successful people. Who amongst us doesn't want to be happy, healthy, and successful? Still, it can be easy to lose your way, which is why I'm going to talk about a list of habits I think will help us reach our goal. That is, don't hold grudges, think outside the box, make exercise a routine, have a supportive tribe, don't waste time with negative people, and don't care what other people think. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my presentation.